Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to talk about central processing unit as well as we are going to discuss components of a CPU. What are the components which are there inside the microprocessor or inside the CPU? So we got two main components here. Main component, I am saying that main component. Other components are there. Total 5 components of a CPUs are there. The first one is arithmetical logical unit we will discuss in today's lecture. Then we are going to discuss how the addition of two numbers is done inside the ALU. Later on we will discuss about the control unit, which is the second part or component of a microprocessor or a central processing unit. Then we are going to elaborate that what are the components of a control unit. The components of control unit we are also going to discuss. Central processing unit. As most of you know that the central processing unit is known as a brain of a computer. Why it is known as the brain of the computer? Because all the processing is done inside the central processing unit. It is the main part of the computer that performs different activities. The addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, as well as comparison between the number greater than, less than, all these are done through microprocessor, which is a central processing unit. This CPU is connected to the motherboard, or we can say that it is located on the motherboard. It contains the circuitry that generates the control signal to execute the instruction. The computer cannot work without the CPU. How it will perform its operation? Basically, a control signals are sent, to the different parts of the computer. These control signals tell that store the data on the hard drive, take the data from the RAM, move it to the control unit, or move it to the arithmetical logical unit, do this addition. All these instructions are sent through control signal for the execution to the microprocessor. All computers have their central processing unit. It is also known as a microprocessor or processor. The another name for a CPU is a microprocessor. Some people say it is a microprocessor. Some people say it is a processor. But remember that in a microprocessor or in a processor, maybe we got 2 CPUs, maybe we got 4 CPUs, maybe we got 6 CPUs. We got 6 central processing units inside the microprocessor. It depends upon processor to processor. What are the components of a CPU, central processing unit? There are 5 components. First one is ALU, control unit, registers, cache, and the last one is internal buses. Arithmetical logical unit, or also known as ALU. Arithmetic and logical unit perform all the arithmetic and logical operation on data. Where this arithmetic is doing, where this logical operations are doing, all they are doing inside the CPU. But inside the CPU, they are done on a separate unit which is known as a ALU. This ALU will do the operations on a data. The arithmetic operation are done also on a data. Logical operation are also done on a data. We can say that the actual processing, the actual execution is done inside the ALU. Mean the original instructions which are executed, they are done inside a ALU. Let's talk about arithmetic unit. The arithmetic unit perform operations just like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. While we talk about logical unit perform the logical operations. What are the logical operations? Logical operations are comparison of number, letters or special characters, or greater than, less than. So these are the logical operations which are performed in a ALU. It may include the operation just like AND or AND not. So AND or AND not, they are logical, they are also a logical operation. Means two operations are there, between them you are going to use AND, or two of them, from that two one is going to be select, so that is OR, and not. Reverse of operation is known as a NOT. So the computer can take a specific action based on the result of comparison. While we do a comparison between a number, so a specific action can be performed by the CPU. Let's talk about the working of arithmetical logical unit onto numbers. A block diagram is also mentioned over here. So let's discuss one by one. ALU will perform the following step to add two numbers 5 and 10. Let's consider we have two numbers, one is a 5, another one is 10. And what we are going to do, we are going to add these two numbers. So step 1, we can say that the first number, which is a 5, okay, it will be stored in a accumulator register or AC register. So you can see here there's a one register by name of a accumulator register inside the ALU. So the data will be stored, the first number will be stored in a accumulator register. While the second number is there, the second number, which was a 10, that will be stored in a data register. So another register is there which will hold your second number, and that second number is 10. It will be stored inside a data register. These two registers will approach the arithmetical logical unit. Right now, the control unit will send a signal to add the number. How ALU get to know that we want to do addition on a number? Basically, control unit send a signal that the number which is there in accumulator register and the number which is, or data which is stored in a data register, add them. Who is going to send this data, or who is going to send the signal? Control unit will send the signal. The number will be added by ALU. Right now, orders are given to the ALU that take the number from accumulator register, take the number from data register, and do addition. Right now, once the order is given, ALU will perform the addition on that two numbers. So once the result is generated, then the result 15 will be put back inside the where the output will be stored inside the again accumulator register. So accumulator register is responsible for storing your results as well. From accumulator register, the data is transferred to the main memory, and then it will show the result on a screen to you. So that is the working of a ALU to add two numbers. Control unit, or we can say that CU. Control unit is also an important component of a CPU, because all the signals, control signals, are sent through control unit, or we can say that it directs and coordinates all the activities of a computer system. Here we are saying that all the activities. So if it is copying a data from one device to another device, displaying any data to the screen, or sending a packet from your computer to the on network, so all the operations which are going to be performed, so control unit is responsible for that. So it directs, it tells that okay, do this operation, and coordinates also all the activities of the computer system. Control unit does not execute anything, okay, it just send the signal that do this thing. It does not execute program instructions by itself, which I've told you. Control unit will not perform any execution. It just give orders, do that, do this thing, do this thing. Okay? The actual processing is done inside the ALU. It directs the other parts of computer to perform different tasks. I have explained that to you, that other components of computer which are there, that it tells that okay, do this thing, do this thing. Just like how the data which is in a accumulator register, control unit send or direct uh, the register that okay, take this data and put inside your main memory, or take the data from main memory and put inside the register. So the data which is available in a RAM, save on a hard drive. So these are what it directs. Okay, the different parts of computer to perform those different tasks. Control unit communicate with the arithmetic and logical unit, and primary secondary storage devices and input output devices. So control unit basically tell the arithmetical logical unit to perform a specific task. It tells the RAM also, primary memory is which one? RAM. So it tells the RAM also that okay, send this data to you to the register, or it instruct the registers that take the data which you have, move it to the RAM. And also the storage devices, the data which is there on a hard drive, take it or store it. And any input output devices which are connected to your computer, it is also controlled, or means the communication is done with it through control unit. It also provides clock pulse. The pulses are used to regulate and control the speeds of all operation in a computer. The clock pulse is that at which ratio the operations are going to be performed. So the pulses are used to regulate and control the speed of all operation in a computer. That how much data will come to the processor for execution, how much data will move to the RAM at the same time when the data is processing. So it will tell that move this data inside a secondary storage device or primary storage device. So the pulse are there which are used to regulate and control the speed of the operations in the computer. Let's discuss about the components of a control unit. What are those components? There are basically three components inside the control unit. We have the control unit consists of following three components. First one is instruction register. It stores the instruction being executed. The data or the instruction which are coming to the control unit, that will be stored in a instruction register, that what operation is performing or which operation is in execution or which operation is right now inside the processor for execution. So that will be stored inside the instruction register. Second one is instruction decoder. Right now, the orders which are or the control signals which are there, basically they are translated into the instructions, into a signal that can be executed by the computer. You give instruction that move A. Right now, for processor, move A is not understandable. So that move A will be decoded into the instruction by help of a instruction decoder. Means it will convert it in a form of zeros and ones, or the instruction format which are there, it will be changed to that instruction format, and a signals are created from that instructions, and it will be sent to the different components of a computer. Once the instruction is decoded means that it is changed or understandable form for the microprocessor. The third one component is timing and control logic. It generates the signals to execute the instruction. Whenever the instruction is decoded, then depending on decoded instructions, a control signals are generated. That control signals that how the orders are going to be given to the different components. And once the orders are given, then it will go from this control signal logic to the different components of a computer.